Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year into office, William Ruto's popularity is deteriorating. And in as much as opinion polls are revealing that the UDA party is the most popular, on the contrary, I think UDA is the most unpopular party in Kenya. And if at all the word popular can be manipulated a bit, then the UDA party and the Kenya Kwanza regime are popular, but for the wrong reasons. And there are two things that will happen to this government. And this you can take to the bank, you can mark this date. Either a revolution will come, one that will not be stopped, or if that doesn't happen, then the Kenya Kwanza government is definitely a one-term government. I'm not saying this because I have anything against the government, but I'm saying this because I'm picking the sentiments and comments of those who were once Ruto buddies, Ruto allies, Ruto supporters. Those who supported William Ruto before, during, and after elections. You have seen the youth from Mount Kenya coming out and confessing that they were duped into voting for William Ruto because they were told Raila is a mganga, Raila is an antichrist, Raila has not been circumcised. And they are now coming out and they are looking at Raila and they are saying, really? This man whom we are told very many things about is the man who is really, exposing the scandals in this government. When they meet him for the first time, and some of them have got an opportunity to meet the Raila, and they are like, is this the real man? Is this the same man we were told about? Women who are promised goodies are beginning to curse this government. The mamambogas are beginning to curse the government. What about that? But I came across this tweet from Ahmednasir, a man who up to date is still living in denial. He does not want to accept categorically that this government is not good for us. His first tweet that I made before I read this one is when he was, lamenting that one of his clients was abducted by a certain elite squad within the government that is not controlled by the Inspector General, Japhet Koome. This is a wing that is being controlled by one person, and was saying that it is a wing that is composed just of one tribe. And their work is to execute anybody who is not reading from the same page with them. And this is the same that is suspected to have been used during the Azimio protest on the streets where they killed people. Back then he could not believe it, but when it happened to his client, he came to Twitter lamenting and telling William Ruto to rain on such. Now today, this is what Ahmednasir said. Good people, tell me this is a joke. I will pay 2,000 per camel annually for my camels in Bangai. Kenya is very close to Boston during the formative years of the American Revolution. Ahmednasir is talking about revolution. Can you imagine it? I mean, for those who have followed him very closely, did you ever imagine that Ahmednasir could be the one comparing Kenya to Boston, when America was about to undergo a revolution? I mean, it is unacceptable. And then this is what he says. He has given a breakdown of the taxes on the cattle and the animal that we rear. That 5,500 per horse annually, 2,000 per camel annually, 1,200 per cow annually, 1,000 per pedigree dog reared, 800 per donkey reared annually, 660 per goat, and everything is annual, 550 per pig, 500 per caged reared wild bird. I mean, cage reared, I mean, this is anyway, 60 per chicken annually, per any other domestic bird, that is 100, 50 per mongrel dog reared annually, 50 per rabbit annually. Cats are free to rear. And you're told there, kindly cooperate with KRA officers who visit your homes and farms. And remember, William Ruto had taken these people for a paramilitary training, so that they expect you can sometimes try, to mess up with them. But then, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think for a moment. Someone who has got a house, and I'm happy that finally it has landed on his door. Because were it not for this, maybe you wouldn't have thought of a revolution. And what do you think went into his mind to talk of a revolution? Let me tell you, people who steal the Kenya Kwanza government have not been reached. Because the taxes are now targeting those who rear camels and horses, Ahmednasir is now pleading with Kenyans that this is not correct. And he's telling us, tell me this is not true. Tell me this is a joke. It is not a joke, Grand Mullah. This is the true picture of the Kenya Kwanza government that you support. Now, this is the reason why I said that one day there is a looming revolution. And if that will pass without happening, that Kenya Kwanza is a one-term government. Because I remember William Ruto himself, when he was campaigning, he criticized these punitive taxes on Kenyans because he claimed that Kenyans were already overburdened. Together with the Chief Minister Musalia Mudavadi, people like Ndindi Nyoro, people like Kimani Chungwa, they decried this increment of taxes and they blamed Uhuru. Part of the reason why some people voted for William Ruto was his critique on some of this, his critique on the fuel prices back then that he claimed were really high. Today, down the line, one year down the line, he is introducing taxes that were never imagined. Even in your wildest dream, ladies and gentlemen, did you ever think that a time would come when your government, your God-chosen, not just a government that you fasted? I know people who fasted for weeks. When William Ruto, during the election, they fasted praying for him. When during that window period when the cases were going on in the Supreme Court, they were fasting. And when it was finally declared by Madam Hot Air Kuome, then they said, truly, this was a man of God. Did you ever imagine that your God-sent president would propose taxes to your the chicks that you rear and your rabbit and your horses? I'm sure none of these people ever imagined. And this is what I'm telling you, that because of the high taxes, people will rebel against this government. Because of the unfulfilled promises, people shall rebel against this government. Try to find out and talk to any parent who has got students or children who are going to school, and they will tell you Most parents have received emails and communications from schools that schools are reviewing the school fees, and it is not reviewed downwards. It is not on a downward trend. It is on an upward trend, and it is really burdensome to our parents. Food is hard to come by. Those who live in rentals, rent is hard to come by. Then here, part of the animals that you rear at home are also being taxed. I'm sure that by the end of 5 years, everything shall be taxed. I'll not be surprised. And by the way, I'm serious about this. I'll not be surprised if a government official, one of the MPs, goes to parliament to propose taxation on electronics and the furniture that you have in your house. That some of these KRA officials shall be sent to your home, and they knock and they count how many sofa sets you have and the quality. Are they imported? Are they recliner? Or what kind of seat do you have? And they will have a tax value on it. They might request you politely to see your bed. What kind of bed? What quality? I'll not be shocked at all, because the appetite that our government has is just too much. People like Ahmednasir. Ahmednasir, by the way, is representing many who supported William Ruto. Some of them are still supporting William Ruto just because they don't like Raila. In the absence of Raila or Uhuru Kenyatta or both, they will drop William Ruto like hot potato. But it takes me to the last point. Let us join hands and fight some of these injustices even before they reach us. Don't wait for it to knock at your doorstep for you to understand that it is bad. If it is happening to your fellow Kenyan, but it has not reached you, just please fight it, because finally, what goes round comes round. It shall be your turn, and you'll start complaining. People like Okur Okot have made a U-turn. They are no longer supporting this government. Ahmednasir has started pole pole, and you see, they are now talking about a revolution. The other time, you saw Jimmy Wanjigi saying that we should not even wait for 2027. We need to take action today. I'm convinced that if William Ruto will not do anything, he's a one-term president. One-term in the sense that people will not vote for him. The declaration is in Bomas is a different thing altogether, because you know what happened.